Thank you very much. Hello, Erie. Remember that great victory we had? Oh, what a victory. 14 days from now, we are going to win the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we are going to win 4 more years in the White House. With your vote, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut regulations, support our great police, protect our Second Amendment, defend our borders, keep jobs and wealth in America where it belongs. Thank you. We will deliver record prosperity, epic growth, and you know that. Have you seen what's been going on? How well we're doing? Did you see the recent poll just came out? 56% of the people want to be here, not 4 years ago. They want to be with us in what we're rounding the turn on the pandemic. 56%, and it's a record, epic job growth, safe vaccines that quickly end the pandemic. It's ending. Normal life, that's all we want. You know what we want? Normal life. Normal life will finally resume, and next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country. This is an election between the Trump super recovery, which is happening right now, and a Biden depression. If he gets elected, you will have a depression, the likes of which you've never seen. You know, he's going to double, triple, and now quadruple your taxes. I don't think so. I think I know the people of Erie pretty well. They don't like that. It's a choice between our plan to kill the virus or Biden's plan to kill the American dream, and that's what he'd be doing. Biden will delay therapies, postpone the vaccine, prolong the pandemic, close your schools, shut down our country. And by the way, Pennsylvania's been shut down long enough. Get your governor to open up Pennsylvania. Get your governor to open it up. He will massively raise your taxes, bury you in regulations, dismantle your police departments, dissolve our borders, confiscate your guns, Second Amendment. Oh, you're so lucky I'm president, you wouldn't have a Second Amendment. Eliminate private health care, terminate religious liberty, destroy the suburbs. I'm saving the suburbs. Knocked out the regulation. No, you don't like projects being next to your beautiful house, your American dream. So much for the American dream. And Joe Biden will ban fracking and abolish Pennsylvania energy. How many times did he say it? Your fracking and mining industries will be outlawed, exiled, eradicated, and totally extinguished. And you know it, because it's not up to Sleepy Joe. He's gonzo. It's up to the others in the party. Joe Biden has repeatedly pledged to ban fracking, right? You've all heard it. Have you heard it? Till he got the nomination. Then he came to Pennsylvania. He said, oh, well, I guess it's okay. It's always what they say first. His running mate, the most liberal member of the U.S. Senate, sponsors the $100 trillion. Think of that, $100 trillion. If we had a great year for 100 years, we couldn't make $100 trillion. The $100 trillion socialist Green New Deal, which would eliminate fossil fuels. At this very moment, Biden's website includes a pledge to mandate net zero carbon emissions, which means he would end all fracking. It's what he said. He said it for a year and a half, he said it. Under the Obama-Biden administration, more than 40% of all coal mining jobs will be destroyed, totally gone. And you know what's happened? I mean, did you see what they did to West Virginia and other places, including Pennsylvania, where they were here? Don't forget, they've been here for 8 years before me. If they did a good job, I would have never run. I didn't need this. I didn't need this. Although we're having a good time, and we're doing a good job. No, but it's true. If they did a good job, I wouldn't have run. Thank you. Thank you. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. I always want the cameras to show. They never like to show. They don't like to talk about it. You can hear how big these crowds are. And by the way, you know, in all fairness to Erie, all over the country, it makes you feel good, all over the country. The biggest crowds anyone's ever had. Bigger than what we had 4 years ago. Bigger. Oh, and you have... Leslie Stahl's not going to be happy. The Democrat Party hates fracking. They hate coal. Good, beautiful, clean coal. They hate American energy, and Joe Biden will shut it all down. He's going to. Tonight I want to do something. I want to give you, this is an original Donald Trump Broadway play. And I had it done specifically. First time I've ever pulled it out. I had it done specifically for the people of Erie because you guys like energy. You like being energy independent. Do you like that? Energy? Because that's... we don't need all these faraway lands and everything else. We are now energy independent, and we're going to keep it that way. Take a look at this clip. We had it made up, and I think you'll like. First time I've ever done this, right? First time. Go ahead, wherever it is, put it up.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated and no more subsidies for either one of those.
I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel. No more, no new fracking. I'd gradually move away from fracking.
And I think it's critically important on day one that we end any fossil fuel leases on public lands.
Well, like, what about, say, stopping fracking and stopping the pipeline infrastructure and
They want to do the same thing I want to do. They want to phase out fossil fuels, and we're going to phase out fossil fuels.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
And what we don't show is his more current version. Oh, yes, we'll have fracking. And the fake news, they don't do anything about it. They don't even talk to him about it. But right now, he's got bigger problems than fracking, I think. You know what it's called? You know his problem? It's called the laptop from hell. It's the laptop from hell. To all the people of Pennsylvania, hear this warning. If Biden's elected, he will wipe out your energy industry. You have 1 million jobs. Just like he wiped out your steel industry, and I brought it back. I brought it back. Only by voting for me can you save your fracking in Pennsylvania. We are going to have a great time because you are going to reject the radical left. The United States, and I say it, and I'll say it 1,000 times, the United States will never be a socialist nation. Think of it. Here we are in Erie. People as far as the eye can see. Look at that. I mean, no, it's incredible. It's a great honor. It's a great honor for all of us. We're all in this together. We're all in it. As long as I'm president, we will remain the #1 producer of energy anywhere in the world. You know, we're now #1 in the world with Pennsylvania. You, Texas, we have some great. How about North Dakota does a great job. North Dakota, Oklahoma, so many different. Ohio does a phenomenal job. Phenomenal. A couple of Ohioans. And they have to have the fracking, and they have to have the energy. And we need the energy. And, you know, you looked at your car. When did you think you were going to see $2 a gallon and less? You didn't think you were going to see that. That's like a tax cut. And at the same time, our energy industry is vibrant. Last year, I visited the Shell petrochemical plant in Beaver County, the largest investment in your state's history. Our opponents will put it out of business. They want to put it out of business. I don't think that's a great idea. Joe Biden has made a corrupt bargain in exchange for his party's nomination. He's handed control of his party over to socialists. I added another word: communists, Marxists, left-wing extremists, and they're full of hate and rage and scorn for the middle class and for everybody. Frankly, for the middle class and for everybody. The Biden-Harris Kamala. Do you like Kamala? Kamala. I'll tell you, did our vice president do a great job? Did a great job. Did a great job. I said, Mike, it was too easy. But the Biden-Harris agenda is projected to slash the typical American's income by $6,500. This is in the Wall Street Journal today. A nightmare for Pennsylvania families, $6,500. And that's just cut it down. What you could be making if you do this and what we're doing, because for the last 47 years, Joe Biden has been outsourcing your jobs, offshoring your factories, and selling out the American worker. And who knows it better than Pennsylvania? Look at all the empty hulks that you still have despite all the jobs we've brought back. America lost 10,000 factories while he was vice president. He has no clue, by the way. Just so you understand, he has no clue. How many? Oh, that's okay. He's a servant of the globalists, lobbyists, wealthy donors, and Washington vultures who got rich bleeding America dry. You know, I said the other day, I never thought of it, because they're raising a lot of money, $300 million. I could be the king of all fundraisers. I would be the greatest that ever lived. The President of the United States. All I have to do is give me a list of the top 100 companies. I'll call the president of every one. They will pay me whatever I want. I would set every record. The problem is I'd owe them, because when they call and they have a problem for a lot more money than we're talking about, you know, it's like hard to say, no, hey, they were nice, they treated you good. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. We don't need the money. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. But when you see them raise $350 million in a month and a half, you know deals are being made, just so you understand. Deals are being made, big deals, deals. I mean, look at the deals that he's making for himself, okay? But deals are being made. In 2016, Pennsylvania voted to fire this depraved political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who is finally putting America first. America first. The fact is, whether you like it or not, whether you want to hear it or not, Joe Biden is a corrupt politician. He's a corrupt politician. And smoking gun emails show that the Biden family sold the vice presidency for a very, very substantial amount of money, more money than anybody would believe. He let China plunder your jobs while his family raked in millions of dollars from China and foreign nations. The Bidens got rich while Pennsylvania got robbed, and so did the rest of our country. Desperately trying to cover up everything. They don't want to hear speeches like this. They don't want to hear anything about it. Corrupt media, the big tech giants, the Washington swamp, and the Democrat Party is a part of all of them, every single one of them. They flood your communities with criminal aliens, drugs, and crime, while they live behind beautiful gated compounds. They try to take away your guns. Second Amendment, they want to take it away. While they enjoy private security that's fully armed, they support crippling lockdowns like your governor is doing, while their jobs and their industries remain totally exempt. And it's time to send a message to these wealthy liberal hypocrites by delivering Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, a thundering defeat on November 3rd. Got to get out and vote. Pennsylvania, you got to get out and vote. You know, if we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing. We win the whole thing. I mean, it's crazy. They're saying, oh, it's his home state. It's not his home state. He left you when he was 9, right? His parents. I'm not blaming him for that. But, you know, he likes to go around, oh, it's my home state. It's not his home state. I actually went to college in Pennsylvania, okay? So, you know, I think I have more in common. But it's not his home state. He comes from a place called Delaware, and he never leaves Delaware. I like Delaware, too. But he never leaves. He's making another speech from... Well, he doesn't make many speeches, either. He took a 5-day lid. You know what lid is? I never heard lid. Lid is like, they put the lid like a garbage can, right? They put the lid. He took a 5-day lid. I mean, this guy, all he does is like, stay home. You know why? You know why? Because he can't take any questions now from the press. Can't take any questions. How about yesterday? He finally went outside. He went to get an ice cream. And the press is standing. These are all killers. I mean, there they are. Look, the fake news. They're standing there. And all they wanted to know, think of me. They're screaming at me like a... All I want to know, what flavor ice cream do you like? Well, I like vanilla and chocolate, thank you. They don't ask me those questions. If I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. And if I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you, and nobody has ever fought for you harder than I have. That I can tell you. I'm fighting so hard because I love my country. I love you, by the way, but I love my country. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And this is a tough group in front. The last time they said that, last time this guy said that to another man, I'd doubt you. Maybe dead a long time ago. But because I'm determined to ensure that the forgotten men and women of this country, remember, they showed up 4 years ago, and they're showing up now. You see what's going on? Do you see the lines? Do you see what's happening all over the country? They still don't want to report it. It's going to be. This is going to be bigger than 4 years ago. There's more enthusiasm. The crowds are bigger. They'll never be forgotten again, not after this one. They tried to find out who are all these people that showed up last time. Now they're finding out again, except even more so. No, you see what's going on, though, with the lines and everything, and then they have the phony fake ballots all over the place. They're throwing them in the garbage can. Oh, they happen to have the name Trump on them. Isn't that shocking? How about the ones that were printed without my name on it, right? They had everything on it. They had every race. They had everything. You had the Senate. You had everything. They forgot to put me down. Oh, thank you. And then they say, he's against freedom. Oh, it's wild. The Biden-Harris war on police would be a catastrophe for public safety. You know, I think I have every single... Correct. Good. I like that. I like that. Right. I think we have every single endorsement, even New York's finest, New York City's finest. We love our finest. Is the mic ready? Yes. I wonder who did that to our mic. I don't believe it was Joe. You know who it was? Crooked Hillary. It must have been. I think it was probably Crooked Hillary. But Kamala, by the way, she will not be your first woman president. She will not be. Can't let that happen. There'll be a woman president. You cannot let that happen. Harris even urged their supporters to donate to a fund that bailed out rioters right out of jail, including attempted cop killers. I will always stand with the heroes of law enforcement. So will you. And Biden's policies would also decimate our seniors. Biden is pledging mass amnesty and free federal health care. Remember he did that at a stage? You remember? Look, she's shaking her head. She remembers. Remember when he put up his hand? You know, after 47 years, he knew it was not the right thing to do, but everybody else was raising, you know, they're all radical left. And he felt very uncomfortable. He looked over there. They were all over the place, these people. They were all... And we just won the election. He knows they don't get a free Rolls Royce. He lied to the American people. Oh, these are sick people. Thank goodness their ratings. CNN ratings, did you see them? They're so bad. Fredo, all these people, the ratings are so bad. Their ratings are terrible. Thank goodness. But he will obliterate your Medicare, your Social Security. I will always protect your Medicare and your Social Security. As I said 4 years ago. I'm also proud that here in Pennsylvania, your Medicare Advantage, you know that, everybody have it, some people have it. The premiums have decreased, listen to this, under our management, 43% since I took office. Where do you hear that? We will always defend our seniors, and we defend them like nobody else can. The battle against the China virus, that's what it is. It's a China. You know, they call it COVID. They call it all different names. It's a China virus, eh? Or China, maybe the China plague. We launched the largest mobilization since World War II. I'll tell you what, the way they cover it, we have done such an incredible, we saved millions of lives. They refuse to cover it, not for me, but for the people, the admirals, the generals, Mike Pence, everybody that worked so hard on this, and they refuse to acknowledge it. We made a lot of really bad governors look good, and some good governors do just fine. But a lot of bad governors, we made them look good. Early on, we took aggressive action. We saved so many lives. Remember, it was supposed to be 2.2 million under a scenario. Could have been more than that. I took rapid action to ban travel from China and from Europe, heavily infected areas. And by the way, the scientists said, oh, don't do it. 2 months later, they were saying, lucky he did do it. Biden opposed both of these life-saving decisions. You remember he said, he's xenophobic. I said, Joe, what does it mean, Joe? Couldn't answer. He goes, he doesn't. Only in Pennsylvania. He goes, he doesn't. Well, you're right about that. We pioneered incredible therapies. Excuse me, here I am. You know, I got you. That was quick. That was quick. Now, great doctors. We have great doctors. And reduced the fatality rate 85%. Think of that. And I'm working to make the antibody treatment that I received available to anybody that needs it free. And it's getting very close to getting approved. We will have 100 million vaccine doses before the end of the year. Maybe sooner than that, maybe substantially before. The Biden lockdown, he's willing to lock you down. You guys aren't even open yet. What the hell is going on with your state? You know, Florida's open, all this. Florida had a surge, great governor, surge, went down. Arizona had a surge, went down, great governor. Texas had a surge, went down. You guys never opened. The hell is going on in Pennsylvania, right? The Biden lockdown will crush America. We will crush the virus. We're doing that. We're crushing the virus. Look at our numbers compared to Europe. You know, they always said, oh, Europe, Europe, Europe. Look at our numbers compared. And we had the biggest of any country, the biggest comeback. We came back faster. We went down less. Economically, came back faster. If you want depression, doom and despair, vote for Sleepy Joe Biden. And boredom. You know the great thing? I always say someday these people, look at all of them back, look at all those cameras. You know what I say? Someday they're going to get smart. They're going to endorse President Trump. Because if you had Sleepy Joe, then nobody's going to be interested in politics anymore. That's going to be the end of that. They will all go out of business. They should have gone out of business 4 years ago. Then I came along. If you want open schools, an open economy, and a safe, healthy, thriving country, vote for me. We're going to do it. We're doing it now. We're doing it now. We're joined today by a few of my friends. I'll tell you, this one guy, he got it right from the beginning. That's right. How did you know that? He's a warrior. He's tough as hell. He could have only been grown in Pennsylvania because he's that kind of a guy. He said a long time ago when I knew him, it was a year before the election, and I said, this is 4 years plus one. I said, how do you think we're going to do? He said, sir, you're going to win. He said, how the hell do you know that? I just started. The escalator ride wasn't too old, right? The famous escalator with our First Lady. They love our First Lady. Wasn't too old. We had just come down, and a man named Congressman Mike Kelly said, sir, you're going to win in a landslide. Come up here, Mike. Come on. Come on. I don't know. Get up. You can. He said, I can't do it again. They'll figure it out. Don't hurt yourself, though, Mike. Don't prove everything, Mike. Just, hey, fellas, could you help the man? He's, just give him a hand. Take your time, Mike. Don't hurt yourself. Can you imagine? He's trying to climb over a barrier to show that you. We don't want to hurt our Mike. He's been, right from the beginning, he's been with me. Great guy. Come here, Mike. And also, my Pennsylvania campaign chair done a fantastic, really a fantastic job. Bernie Comfort. Bernie. Thank you. Great job. Great job. Are you okay? Don't touch me. Okay. Don't touch me, Mike. We'll get in trouble with the media. They'll say, they touched each other. Oh, do you ever say this? If he would have done that, I saved you, Mike. Maybe I saved your political career. They would have had front page story of our two hands touching. Mike, say a few words, please.
In our lifetimes, we will never see a president like Donald J. Trump again. I want every one of you to make a commitment to get out and vote November 3rd and absolutely refuse to lose. This is the president. This is the time. This is your solemn oath to America. We're going to make America great again, because of Donald J. Trump. There's no flu that's going to keep this man down. He makes the Energizer Bunny look like a deadhead. This guy never stops. He never sleeps. He is totally dedicated to each one of you, and we should be totally dedicated to him. I love this president. I love his agenda, and I love the fact that on November 3rd, we're going to put him back in the White House. Mr. President, thank you.
What a great guy. Well, that was not a bad job. Not a bad job. He's a great guy, though. He really is. You're lucky to have him. Good job. You know, he shows up without the jacket. I feel a little guilty, Mike, without. You're not cold, Mike, I hope, right? Don't be too brave. We got to keep them around, right, Mike? Thank you, Mike. Great job. I appreciate it. Under my administration, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world, and now we're doing it again. In my first 3 years, we increased family income over $6,000. Listen to this, more than 5 times the gains in all 8 years under the previous administration. Think of that. In just a short period of time, African American unemployment, Hispanic American unemployment, and Asian American unemployment all reached their lowest levels in the history of our country. Think of that. We lifted nearly 7 million Americans out of poverty, a record, including nearly 1.2 million African Americans out of poverty. Since April, just now, we created a record, never happened like this, 11.4 million brand new American jobs. That's never happened before. And you know, you were hearing, it sounds terrible to me when I say it, but you were hearing about 38% unemployment, right? 38, you were hearing 42%. So it was, oh, that's fake news. Thank goodness. But you know what it was 2 weeks ago? 7.8%. Now, 7.8, when we're at 3.4 and 3.5, I don't like to say 7.8, but when you think about it, they were saying, we're going to 42%. You know, not our fault. We had this plague come in from China. We're going to 42%, 38%, 38%, 7.8%, and heading down rapidly. That's pretty amazing when you think about it. Under Biden, it took 30 months to recover more than half of the jobs lost in a crisis. We did it in less than 5 months. We've spent the last 4 years reversing the damage Joe Biden inflicted over the last 47 years. You saw what he's done. You know, it's amazing. He's always like, you know, it's not him. He's not being critical. But he has writers. They say, oh, let's do this, that, you know, I have all this stuff. Vice President Biden said, he has no idea what he said. But you know what I get? He just, you know, he didn't leave long ago. He was here for 8 years as vice president and 47 years plus as a politician in Washington. Think of it. And he's always like, why didn't he do this? Why the hell didn't he do it? He just, you know, why didn't he do it? 47 years, Joe, why didn't you do it? He supported NAFTA, TPP, which would have destroyed your industry, and China's entry into the World Trade Organization. One cruel betrayal after another. It's true. I mean, what he's done. For decades, our politicians spent trillions of dollars rebuilding foreign nations, fighting foreign wars, and defending foreign borders. Now we're doing our borders. Do you like that better? But now we're finally protecting our nation, rebuilding our cities, and we are bringing our jobs, our factories, and our troops, our beautiful, beloved troops. We're bringing them all back home. It's time. 19 years to save our auto industry. I withdrew from the last administration's Trans-Pacific Partnership. Pennsylvania gained, Michigan. Auto factories, auto plants being built all over Michigan, Ohio. There wasn't a plant built in 42 years. Now they're being built all over the place. In Japan, I told the Prime Minister, you have to give us plants. You can't just keep sending us cars. You got to make them over here. And they started, and you're a big beneficiary of it. To defend our steel and aluminum workers, I imposed very historic tariffs on dumped steel, right? And that happened, and U.S. Steel, all of your places started doing great. I ended the NAFTA nightmare and signed the brand new USMCA, just kicked in. You know how I know it's good? Because the other two countries aren't so happy. It's good. They took advantage of us for a long time. I took the toughest ever action to confront China's rampant theft of American jobs. Nobody has ever done. And you know what? Nobody's ever done anything like this to China. We're taking in billions. Right now we're taking in billions. Billions and billions of dollars. It affects you a little bit. We gave $28 billion to our farmers because they were targeted by China. And that was just a small fraction of what I took in. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border, southern border in U.S. history. So we're building 10 miles. You know, the wall is going to be completed very soon. And we had radical opposition to the wall. Radical opposition. We'll be at 500 miles very soon, and we'll be completed with the wall. And by the way, Mexico, you know, they keep saying Mexico is paying for the wall. They understand that. They're paying for the wall. Mexico's paying for it, and it's very high, just like I said it would be, and it actually goes down very deep. You know why? Two reasons, actually. Number one, to hold it up. Number two, to stop the tunnels. My opponent's immigration plan is the most extreme proposal ever put forward by a presidential candidate. Biden would eliminate U.S. borders. How about that? Do you like that idea? Okay. Just think of it from a practice. How the hell do you have a country if you don't have borders? He would eliminate, and you know, that's signed in the manifesto with Bernie Sanders, crazy Bernie. Bernie's one of the, I'll tell you what, he's one of the greatest losers, and I mean that in a very nice way. Twice they took it away from him, right? Hillary took it away, and then Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren took it away. Because she stayed in on Super Tuesday. She took enough votes away so he didn't win any states. And then he goes back to the Senate like nothing happened. This guy, I think he should be given, you know, in school, when I was a young guy in school, Sportsmanship of the Year. I never happened to receive that. I got other awards. I never got the Best Sportsmanship Award. But Bernie Sanders should be given Sportsman of the Year. Sportsmanship, I guess, right? No, it's amazing. This happened to him twice. Is Bernie running again in 4 more years? Bernie, are you running again? Crazy Bernie. But they signed the, you know, they didn't sign. I guess they have this deal, the manifesto. They agreed. Biden would eliminate, and she's more liberal than him. You know, she's more liberal. And there's nobody that treated Biden worse than Kamala. That's why I said, why would he ever pick her? There's nobody that treated him worse. Biden would eliminate U.S. borders by implementing nationwide catch and release, which I ended. If it's okay with you. You know what I did? You catch them. What do? They're murderers. They're rapists. You catch them, and then you have to release them. This is called catch. This was a Democrat program headed up by crying Chuck Schumer. He's the one. You catch them, crying Chuck. He only cries when it's, I've known him a long time. The only time he cries is when it's necessary. Crying Chuck. No, you catch them and you release them into the country. And you say, in 4.5 years, please come back for a trial. Nobody comes back. A couple of really stupid ones come back, other than that. Making every community into a sanctuary city and suspending all removals of illegal aliens. They want to suspend, in this manifesto, no more moving out illegal aliens, even if they're really bad, including no violent criminals. You catch MS-13, can't move them out. Thank you very much. We're living with them. This is what these people want. This is the most important election in the history of our country. Look, you know, we can play games and we can be nice and we can have a good time. You think I need to be standing out here in 50-degree weather, looking at Mike in a shirt, and he feels better about it than I do? Right, Mike? No, this is the most important election in the history of our country. We cannot allow this to happen. We're going to win. We're going to win so big. I think we're going to win. You know, the lines are record-setting. The lines are big. The lines are big. There's a lot of Trump, you know, people that, a lot of people, great Americans, they never liked who they were voting for. They didn't vote. They just didn't vote. And they're online right now. There are a lot of people out there, and it's looking good. It's early, but it's looking good. Get out and vote. Most important election, Mike, we've ever had. I really believe it. And you know what? 4 or 5 months ago when we started this whole thing, because, you know, before the plague came in, I had it made. I wasn't coming to Erie. I mean, I have to be honest. There's no way I was coming. I didn't have to. I would have called you and said, hey, Erie, you know, if you have a chance, get out. But we had this thing won. We were so far up. We had the greatest economy ever, greatest jobs, greatest everything. And then we got hit with the plague. And I had to go back to work. Hello, Erie. May I please have your vote? Right? I love Erie. No, hey, we had a big deal in Erie. We had a big deal in Erie, right? This was not supposed to be a Trump thing. It's a lot of Democrats, but the Democrats that love Trump because I love them. And you know what? You're workers. You're like me. We work. But that was a pretty big upset, wasn't it, huh? Big upset. But if Biden wins, your borders are gone, which means your health care is gone, the middle class is gone, your safety is gone, your country is gone. That's what's going to happen. And don't think it can't happen. Take a look at Venezuela. This could be same ideology as what they're talking about. This could be a Venezuela, but much, much, much bigger. It could happen. It could happen. You see these people. You see what they're saying. You see Portland, where they have anarchists through the street. And it's all Democrat-run areas, no Republican areas. It's all Democrat-run areas. That's where you have. With Portland, it's anarchists. But look at the look at what's happened to our beautiful New York since I've been gone. Think of it. You know what? It's like 3.5 years. If you think of it, I think what I can say is if I would have stayed in New York, that wouldn't have happened. It's very interesting. But look at what's happened to New York in a few years. What's happened to New York, what's happened to Chicago. Look at what's going on in Baltimore. And just remember this, with Obama, Biden, they had nothing but problems. Look at Baltimore. Remember how bad that was? Ferguson. Look at St. Louis. Look at Oakland. Look at all the problems. You know, they act like, oh, it was horrible. And you know, I say it all the time. If they were any good, I wouldn't have run. And if they were any good, if I did run, I couldn't have won. Right? But they were no good. They did a rotten job. They did a lousy job. And Joe is not equipped right now, no longer. He never really was. You know, we used to call him 1% Joe, and that was in prime time. How about this? And in non-prime time, he ends up getting the nomination. Figure that one out. To secure our border, I took the corrupt media. We had to take it on, and they are corrupt. The powerful special interests and the open borders lunatics, because they'll destroy our country. In just 3 years, we removed over 500,000 criminal aliens, including those charged or convicted of more than 145,000 assaults, 40,000 sex crimes, and 6,000 murders. 6,000 murders. We got them the hell out. Some we had to keep because we didn't even want them out. They were too dangerous because we don't want them coming back. And I want to thank ICE, and I want to thank our great Border Patrol, always law enforcement, but ICE and Border Patrol. Under a Biden administration, these criminals would be set free. Under my administration, these criminals are sent home or they have to be put in prison. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military. We now have the greatest equipment we've ever had. We are the envy of Russia and China and everybody in the world. We have the best missiles and rockets and tanks and planes, F-35, stealth. You can't see it. Other than that, it's not so great. You can't see it. I went to one of the pilots. I said, how good is this plane? Well, it's really good. Why is it good? Because the enemy can't see it. I said, I don't know too much about what you do. Sounds good to me. And for our great veterans, we passed VA choice and VA accountability. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. We killed the worst mass murderer terrorist in many, many generations. Soleimani is dead. Killed many soldiers, many people. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal. By the way, if and when we win, my first call is going to be from the heads of Iran, and they're going to say, let's make a deal. Their economy went from being strong, they were all over the world, terrorism. Now their economy is totally tanked with our sanctions and other things. And they're down GDP, think of this, GDP down 27%. Nobody's ever even heard of it. And I don't want that. I want them to be a good cell. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. But I want them to be good. I want them to be strong. I want them to have a great country. The first call will be Iran. As soon as we win, they're going to call and we'll make a deal. And others will also call. They're all hoping. China, oh, China wants us to, oh, China. They want Joe Biden so badly, you have no idea. They are dying for Joe Biden. The one they don't want is, they don't want Trump. They've had enough of Trump. Tens of billions of dollars we get. I recognize the true capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. We don't want Trump, please. We've had enough of Trump. Let's try somebody new. This isn't working out. Hey, look, China has ripped us off more than any country in history. And by the way, plenty of our allies rip us off, too, between trade and military and everything else. I could go into that. I could speak about that all night long. But nobody has ripped us like China for many, many, long before Obama, in all fairness, and Biden, long before them. They've ripped us off. Where's Hunter? I don't know. That's a good. Where's Hunter? Remember we said that? Where's Hunter? Then we made the T-shirt. It was the #1 selling T-shirt. Where's Hunter? What happened to Hunter? Where's Hunter? I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. 52 years they tried to do it. I did it in about 2 hours. I even got nominated for 3 Nobel Peace Prizes. Do you believe it? And for all different things. One's the Middle East. No, one is Kosovo, Serbia. You know, we're doing a deal with these countries. I say, well, you guys have been fighting and killing each other. If we're doing a deal, let's get them to be like, let's not kill each other. And we worked out a deal, a beautiful economic deal between 2 places that just killed each other for years and years. And it just seems so easy and so natural, right? Anyway, in the Middle East, instead of all of the blood pouring all over the sand, we're ending all of that. And you see what's happening. Countries are joining left and right. No blood. We did it a different way. We did it different. How many times was I criticized? He can't get it done that way. You see this guy, John Kerry, who's grossly incompetent? The only time he ever left the negotiating table was to go into a bicycle race. He was 73 years old. And he broke his leg and his arm. Other than that, it was a wonderful day riding a bicycle. And I pledge that I will never be in a bicycle race, okay? I did more in 47 months than Joe Biden did in 47 years. It's true. A vote for Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, and a limitless future for all Americans. A vote for Republicans and a vote for me is a vote for the American dream. That's what it is. It's a vote for the American dream. And in conclusion, we'll make this a little shorter. You know, it's like about 40 degrees. I don't want to lose anybody. You got to go vote. So we're going to go a little shorter because you got to go vote. And I see even Mike, he's so brave. He's starting to freeze his ass off over there. He said, okay, look, I proved my point. President, let's get me the hell out of here. Over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. And we will end our reliance on China once and for all. We're already doing that. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. Ban. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. Second Amendment. And if they get in, you will lose your Second Amendment. Remember that when you're getting ready to press Trump. We will strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens, and we will keep America out of these ridiculous, horrible, endless wars. They're endless. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, already signed, starts on January 1st. It'll be bigger than healthcare. Watch this. And further reduce the cost of prescription drugs, which I've done, you know, with favored nations. The drug companies do not like me too much. You will have drug prices going down 50, 60, 70, 80%. Could you imagine if he were in this position and people would go up to him, Mr. President, you've done a great job on drug prices. Oh, really? What happened? They're down 82%, sir. Really? I can't believe it. You better give me the credit, damn it, I'll tell you. What I've gone through, the drug companies, they're spending a fortune on fake ads. They don't want me. They don't want me. China doesn't want me. Iran doesn't want me. Nobody wants me. Nobody. Erie wants me. Erie wants me. And we'll always protect patients with pre-existing conditions, always. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. That's already moving along. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools, right? We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our great national motto. It'll never be changed. You know, they want to change that. You know, they want to take certain words out, like the word God, okay? In God we trust. We'll always keep it. For years you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Pennsylvania. Always will. Great state, great place, a lot of friends. So get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, get your coworkers, get your boss, right? Come on, boss, we got to vote. And get out and vote. You know, you tend to vote very late, which is good. I understand that. But you know, it's just the norms. And you tend to vote late. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. This is the biggest election of our lifetime. Get out and vote. From Scranton to Allentown, from Pittsburgh to Harrisburg, and from Easton to right here in Erie, we stand on the shoulders of red-blooded American patriots who poured out their heart, sweat, and soul to secure liberty and defend our freedom. Pennsylvania is the state where our founding fathers declared American independence. Think of it, Pennsylvania. Think of what you represent as a state. What state, honestly, and we can say it to the other states, I love them, they've been great to me, they voted for us, everything. But what state's done some of the things that have taken place in Pennsylvania? It's where the Army weathered its brutal winter at Valley Forge, where General George Washington led his men on a daring mission across the Delaware, and where our Union was saved by the incredible heroes at Gettysburg, right? I mean, who can say these things? And these names, right? Gettysburg, these names. This is the place where generations of tough, strong Pennsylvania miners, steelers, factory workers forged the greatest nation in the history of the world. And believe me, the best is yet to come. It's coming. It's all happening. The best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. We are returning power to you. And I said that a long time ago when we started. It was being taken away. I just didn't know quite how deep the swamp was. It's a little deeper, a little more treacherous than I thought, but we're beating them. Oh, well, their head will explode on November 3rd. Can you imagine? And then you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? I think they're finally going to say, okay, that's enough. Let's go. I think by that time they're going to have it. They will have had it. He goes, they better. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. Right? We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together, with the incredible, and I mean that, I know you well, a lot of time in this incredible land, this beautiful place, this place of history, the incredible people of Pennsylvania. We have made America powerful again. Our military, never been like this. Remember at the beginning when the overrated general said to me, "Sir, we have no ammunition." I said, "No president should ever have that. No president should ever hear those words. Sir, we have no ammunition." We now have so much ammunition that even Mike would be impressed. So we've made it powerful again. We've made America wealthy again. Stock market, new records, your 401ks. Everybody happy with their 401k? You want to see your 401ks crash? It was on today. Varney, you know, Stuart? He had a gentleman on. He said, you know, if Trump gets in, the market's going to go through the roof. If Trump loses and this other guy gets in, you're going to have a problem like you've never seen before. And I agree. Your 401ks, your stocks, you want to see them drop like a rock? If you want to have some fun with your family, explaining, why is it down 80%, Dad? We don't love you anymore, Dad. No, your 401ks are doing great. Everything's doing great. We're going to be in a position very soon like we've never been in, even better than we were a year ago. We've made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much, Pennsylvania. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Thank you, Pennsylvania. Thank you. Thank you.